For my midterm assessment, I want to first look at the criteria shown on our rubric for the assessment. The criteria include engage and persist, dependable, reflect and evaluative, observe, envision and plan, understanding, and express. Within these criteria, the 8 studio habits are also present. For this criteria, I feel as though I consciously make an effort to be engaged during teaching activities and classes. Usually during class, I'm not afraid to share thoughts or add to discussions. I think I do a good job listening while others are sharing their ideas as well. During teaching, I like to be involved with students and actively taking part in the lesson. For Brainy, I feel comfortable leading my small group and asking guided questions to keep students involved. For example, in our last Brainy session, I had my students look at examples of bowls from North America. One was white and old with cracks, and the other was shiny and black with pattern design. I asked my students to think about which one appeared to be older and how they knew, or the differences they could see. Not only did this keep myself engaged, but also kept the students engaged as well. For our artistic abilities teaching, I feel this experience has been a little bit harder than last semester in terms of group work. I am the kind of person in a group setting that likes to be more of a lead role and take on work that is needed to be done. Since Clarissa and I have already gained a lot of experience from last semester, and this process is a big learning opportunity for our group members, we needed to take more of a backseat role. Needless to say, from what I'm used to, this was something I had to persist in and trust my group members to let them step into more of that lead role. It has been tough letting go at times, but has also given me a different perspective on group work and teaching. Also within artistic abilities, another way I've persisted with the teaching is amending ideas and adapting activities to fit our students better. As a group, we often had to stretch and explore some of our activities and how they could be done differently. Our students had a wide range of abilities. Some were not vocal at all, while others could think very deeply and discuss their ideas. Others could draw very detailed, and some needed a little bit more simple guidelines. Because of this, it was important to understand our students' abilities and interests and alter our lessons to allow each of our students the opportunity to be successful. I feel as though I am someone who is highly dependable. I will make sure my work is complete and on time, and that I am present and on time for teaching in class. I did miss one class this semester, but it was for something important to me I felt worthwhile, and I made sure to communicate ahead of time and catch up on what I missed. I also think that I am someone that can be depended on to be respectful to my teachers and classmates. I want to be professional in my interactions in and outside of the classrooms, especially during my teaching. Reflection and evaluation seems to continue to be habits that are always present in the classroom and teaching environment. In my journal entries, I put good thought into my experiences and what went well or could have been better. Right off the bat, one of the first biggest differences in this semester was the time that we had to teach. 2 hours is a lot different than 1 hour, so that was something I really reflected on after our first lesson. It has also been interesting reflecting and evaluating my experiences with artistic abilities and Polaris with last semester. With the new theories and philosophers we are learning about, I am able to think about their practices and ideas and where or when those are present in my teaching and learning so far. Observing our students and artistic abilities has been very important this semester. Being able to observe their interests has helped us find ways to keep them excited and engaged in our lessons. I also think that having some experience from Polaris has allowed me to envision and plan better this semester. For example, having materials that are exciting to the students is something I really realized helped with my kindergarten class, and is something I've been able to carry over with planning for artistic abilities. I have been able to consider next steps with our teaching better as well from my past experience. Some situations we have come across are similar to problems we have had in the past with other lessons, so I've been able to adjust easier and be flexible with teaching. Our classroom discussions and topics have also helped with being able to consider and see the next steps in teaching and art making. Being more informed and continuing to add tools to my tool bag will help me be better prepared and ready for any situation that might arise. Again, planning has been a little tougher this semester with a big group and taking more of a backseat role, but I've tried to be more supportive and allow others to take on a bigger role with planning and try to offer my help or insight when needed. I think this semester my understanding has improved. Again, having experience from last semester has helped a lot, but it has allowed me to make a lot of connections with what we are learning and my teaching experience so far. Understanding techniques was also something I needed more for our teaching with artistic abilities. The first lesson we decided to do batiks, which was a material I was not familiar with using a lot, so we really needed to experiment with and go through the process on our own to understand the best way to do it. We have also gotten some good evidence of our students' understanding with the blog. Some of the pictures and videos show their work that I was very impressed with and excited with the art that they were able to create. This criteria also goes along with developing craft. Continuing to practice teaching and creating lessons has definitely helped me this semester. This has been a very different experience than Polaris, but it has really helped me solidify certain aspects of my teaching and change others. I still feel comfortable being in front of a class and speaking and working with students, but this experience also helped me realize how to alter lessons or art activities to the needs of my students. Artistic Abilities was a special group where taking that into consideration was very important. I also enjoyed working with students of a different age. One of my favorite lessons we had for artistic abilities was going to the Fort Collins Museum of Art and seeing the artwork of Sue McNally. In terms of the studio habit, understanding the art world, I think this experience really solidified for me how important it is for students to be able to experience contemporary art and really get to view artwork. The students enjoyed getting to see this artwork in person, and although I know it won't always be possible to have all my students have an in-person experience with an artist's work, it helped me see the benefit of that kind of an experience. I hope to be able to provide my students with inspirational artists that they can get excited about and allow them to have more of an appreciation for the art world. Going back to making connections, I think this class so far has allowed me to see and express connections I have come across in my teaching, especially with learning about the concepts of Lowenfield and Kellogg and looking at my teaching experience so far. I have been able to express better my understanding of early childhood development. There are times I feel I can express myself better with my understanding of what we learn, but continuing to have class discussions and having others express their understanding has helped me see other points of view and different ideas. Continuing to express my thoughts and learning will keep improving with the more experience and knowledge I am able to gain. Overall, this has been an interesting semester and assessment of learning with the backwards track I've had taking the Education 466 class prior to this one. I think the hardest part has been having to take more of the backseat role in planning and teaching in our service learning. The experience of it all was really what helped me learn a lot, so I understand it's important to allow my group members to be able to have that same opportunity and be there for support or offer advice when needed and teach as a team. Because of this, I think my biggest focus has been making connections. I feel as though I am learning a lot more about the theories and the people responsible for those theories and reflecting on those ideas in my experiences so far. Learning about Kellogg and Lowenfield has really helped me look back on my teaching so far and make realizations and understand the development that was taking place with certain areas of the teaching. I was not very familiar with these people and their research, but remember hearing about them last semester, so really researching their ideas and gaining a better understandings with group discussions and class has been interesting. As always, I know I have a lot more learning to do, and gaining more experience and practice will help continue to improve and become more comfortable and effective in all aspects of my teaching.